the first card you have for your past is the Knight of Cups. Okay, so when I look at this card, when I look at this knight, he looks perfect. Actually, he looks like a knight in shining armor. You know, really perfect, really beautifully dressed. He looks a bit cold though. He looks a bit cold. He looks a bit detached. And you know, there's a river in front of him. It's like river, water, emotion. It's right in front of him, and he stopped right in front of it. So it's like he stopped before the emotions there. So he's not going near the water. He's just, you know, sitting there. So I actually think this is about you, and I actually think this is about, well, it's about you and it's about someone else I think you're involved with. So I think you're involved with someone. It was a big problem. I'm seeing a lot of stress around this. And I think you became a bit detached. You became a bit unemotional at this time. Now, I'm not saying you were this horrible, cold person or anything. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. It actually feels a little bit like a survival tactic. And I think maybe that's why you were like this. It's like, I have to cut my emotions off. I have to detach. That's how I'm going to get through this. That's the kind of thing I'm feeling. And I think at this time, okay, right. I just have to say this feels really, really horrible. So it feels destructive, actually. I'm getting this horrible feeling around this thing. You had someone was quite destructive. Someone was quite difficult. Okay, this is really stressing me out. So if this is you, if you've been through something very difficult and horrible, you've gotten out of something, might even be abusive, very serious, my sympathies are with you. So okay, I'll do my best here. So yeah, the only word I can think of is destructive. So if this is for you, it feels a bit dangerous. It feels a bit difficult, very difficult, more than difficult actually. I hope it doesn't resonate, but I'm serious about that because this is quite serious. But if it does resonate with you, I think the only way you could remove yourself from this whole situation was to be like that, to detach yourself. It's almost like, I hate using that word because a lot of people say that, narcissist, all the time, and I'm not going to use that because, well, I just did, but you know, it's that grey rock kind of thing. I don't know if you're with someone like that or not, but that's what I mean. Excuse me. Oh, my throat. Oh, this is really stressing me out. So yeah, you had to detach. You had to detach yourself, detach your emotions. And I think you also had to detach yourself from your own feelings as well, because it was so stressful. I just think you had to kind of try and remove yourself from your own feelings. And for Cancer, that would have been a huge effort, really difficult, because Cancers really feel things. So I think, you know, a lot of energy would have been put into this detachment. You know, it sounds like a contradiction, I know, putting energy into detaching, but if this is you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, even though this was a really horrible time, if this is you, you know, I think it made you realise that what a lot of people present on the surface, or I should say some people, not really a lot, but what some people present on the surface, like this knight, you know, it looks all perfect. It's not always the reality. It's not always the truth. And this person was not honest with you. You're caught up in something. It feels very terrible, very difficult. You know, it's not like you're going around being naive before this happened, but it feels like they were really convincing. They were a very convincing person. So if this resonates with you, I just want to say this, there's no reason for you to feel bad or silly for getting into this. No one should feel bad. All you did was open up your heart. That's a good thing. We need more people who do that. But I think now, after all this, your eyes are opened a lot wider now than they were. Very, very wide open now. So this is what you learned. This is what you learned. And I think you're still probably trying to heal from this because it does feel very stressful. I'm getting a lot of stress around this. My throat started going terrible, jumbled. My words were jumbled. So very, very stressful situation. It's very tense. So it feels like you're still recovering or you're still going through something that's in the aftermath of this situation. Okay, so the next card you have for your past, the Empress. Beautiful card. So this is you. This is your caring nature. You still have that in you. You still have that. It's still in there. But you're very careful of who you care for now. You're very careful of who you give your caring nature to, your love to. And I think even though you had to go through this horrible thing, this horrible time to learn this, you're a lot less vulnerable in a lot of ways now. You're a lot less likely to open up to the wrong person now. You're very wary of people. The Empress is a carer. She's nurturing, but she's also really smart. She's wise. She's a mother, and good mothers are wise. Good mothers, the best mothers, are wise. So and the thing is, after all this, you know what you need. You know what you need. And instead of thinking about what this other person needs, which I think is what they had you focusing on, they had you focusing on their needs and them and everything about them. You're more self-focused now. But again, I think you still have a lot to get through emotionally. It feels like the tip of the iceberg, if that makes sense. It's a bit like a flood that's being held back. That's how I'm feeling. That's why I'm getting all this stress. So if you're feeling that flood feeling, it's a bit like a dam's going to break. You're kind of holding it all in. It's going to break out. If that's how you're feeling, just be aware. You probably know that if you're feeling like that, but there's still a lot of healing to come. There's still a lot of emotion to come in front of you. A lot of difficult emotions you're going to have to work through if this resonates with you. But I think you were doing a lot of self-care, which is what the Empress can be about. I think it was helping. And you're getting stronger because of that self-care. And you are gaining strength. You definitely are. There's still a way to go. I have to keep on saying that. I think when you finish this whole healing process, you'll be way stronger. You'll be even stronger than you were before you met this person. So just know that. Just know that if you're going through this, it takes time. It takes a long time. But just know that there is an end to this. And, you have the Strength card here. So I'll talk about that now as well. You're going to be fully grown in your strength eventually at the end of this. Look at how big they are. Look at how big they are, this woman and this lion, compared to the landscape around them. I'm just going to lift that up so you can see. So there's mountains, there's streams, there's all these things. And the woman and the lion are huge compared to everything else. So that's what's happening. It probably doesn't feel like that now, but you are gradually growing. You really are. I have to say this, I am seeing a lot of ups and downs that are going to come for you. Oh, sorry, not for you, but they're going to be in front of you. But the thing is, you've gotten out of this. You've absolutely gotten out of this. That's a big step. That's a first step. Everything that comes after that, it might feel good, it might feel not so good, but it's part of this growth process. It's part of gaining your strength back, and you are gradually doing that. And when you go through this process, there are going to be ups and downs in your emotions if this is about you. Okay, so the first card you have for your present is the Queen of Cups. So, okay, this feels very intense as well. So, okay, this is you. You're coming back into your emotion with this card. You're coming back to yourself. It's kind of going from one extreme to the other. I think it's coming from this holding everything in, and now I think it's coming back with this, or coming out. The emotions are coming out with this Queen of Cups. She's a very emotional queen. So there's still a lot you might be keeping to yourself, and that's okay. You don't have to tell people things. Now, I have to say this as well. If this was a really serious situation, I hope it wasn't, but I'm getting a lot of heaviness and a lot of seriousness in your past. So if there's something that you need to report, if it is that serious, think very carefully about this. It's totally up to you, of course it is, but think about this seriously if this applies to you. This queen's really deep in her feelings. She's not engaging with anyone or anything around her. She's caught up in her emotions. The tide's coming in. So this is like this flood that I was talking about. Here it is. The tide's coming in. The water's coming in. And she's not even noticing. She's so in her emotions. She's looking at her cup. so emotional, and this feels the opposite of detachment. So it might be that you're holding this in, like this flood, holding it all in, detaching, really making an effort to do that, which is what I was seeing in the Knight of Cups. And now you're away from all that, you're safe. A lot of these feelings might be coming in now, and I think that's what happens a lot of the time. You're kind of in this fight or flight mode when you're in this really serious thing. You come out of that and then you let loose. So I think that might be what's happening in this very emotional card. But yeah, you might be keeping a lot of things to yourself. She's holding this cup and there's a lid on the cup. So she's keeping a lid on her thoughts, a lid on her feelings. So you're not telling a lot of people if this is what you're going through. Okay, this is a bit strange. I just want to say this. This is what I'm seeing here. It's only going to apply to some people. It's a specific reading, I know, as well. Okay, I just want you to know this. There's a lot of protection around you. I'm just getting this, okay, it looks like there was something you escaped from. It feels like a very narrow escape. I don't want to go into the details, but it's a little bit strange. It's like you left and came back, or you disappeared and came back, or you nearly weren't here and then you came back, or something like that. But it seems quite serious. It seems like a narrow miss. So I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, but if you did have some kind of narrow escape, if this resonates in any way at all, you're being watched and you're being protected and you're being loved, and it's a very positive force that's protecting you and loving you. So and it's just like this queen, you know, she has these beautiful little angels watching over her. They're in her throne, they're protecting her. So the other thing I just feel is, if I have to say to you, it's just coming to me now. I don't know who this is for. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here on this earth right now. So I just had to say that to someone that just came out. So, okay, this is intense. All right, so the next card you have, your presence, the Three of Cups. Yeah, this is an interesting card to have here, because what I'm sensing coming from you is you feel the opposite of this. This is a party scene, and that's the opposite of how you feel. So it feels like you're okay on the surface. You know, you talk to people, you go to work, you talk to all these different people, and you do everything you're supposed to do. I'm still getting all these really intense emotions around you. So, you know, you might be doing everything you need to do, but it feels like the emotions are always there. It's like they're always at the forefront of everything, you know. So it might be that, you know, you go to work, you see people, you talk to everyone, you pretend to laugh and joke and all that, and then, you know, when you come home or when you're by yourself, that might be when all these emotions kind of come up to the surface. If you look at the women in this card, they've all got their cups above their heads. So if this is you, it looks like your emotions are above your head. You might even feel over your head with your emotions. So, you know, if you do recognize yourself in any of this, if any of this is you, you know, I was seeing this in the Queen of Cups. You might not be sharing this with people. I'm not saying go around telling everyone everything. Find a safe person to speak to, because it's not healthy to keep this to yourself if that's what you're doing. Speak to someone safe. Okay, if you want to speak in private, if this is you, DM my Instagram and I'll speak to you. Not everyone, just if this is genuinely you, I will speak to you. Okay, so the last card you have, your presence, the Ace of Cups. Yes. Okay, so what this is showing me is, okay, you are going to come out of this. If you're going through this really deep, really emotional turmoil, ups and downs, all these kinds of things, you're healing. And in the healing process, it is these ups and downs. Whatever this is, just know that it's going to be over. You are going to come to an end. I know it probably feels like you'll never be able to get through this if this is what you're going through, because it's very deep, very, very intense. I'm feeling this, so if you're feeling this, it must be a million times worse than me. You will get through this. There's a beautiful dove on the top of this card. He's traveling through this water. He's traveling through all these emotions. There are tears coming down. You can see that. I'm not going to pretend they're not there. They're there. But the key word here is traveling. He's traveling through this, and he'll get through this. He's going to get to the other side. When you're traveling, there's a destination at the end, and you're going to get there. You're going to get to your destination. And what's at the bottom of this are these beautiful water lilies. I'll show you this as well. I'll lift that up. Beautiful water lilies at the bottom of this card. And so you're going to grow. You're going to grow out of this. And water lilies can symbolize a few different things. There's hope's one of them, not motorbikes. Hope's one of them. Oh, I hope this motorbike goes away. That's so loud. Whenever I have a really intense reading, something like this happens. Okay, back to this. I hope this made some light in this really deep reading. So they symbolize hope, water lilies. They symbolize a lot of things, but that's one of the things. So if this is you, I just want you to know there's hope there. There's hope there. You'll get through this, and you're protected as well. So just remember that. So I'm sorry about that noise. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Six of Cups. Beautiful card. Warmth, springtime, nostalgia. I'm really happy to see this here because this has been quite intense, so really happy to see this card here. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is this is a message. I'm seeing some kind of message. It feels like a really sweet, really innocent message. I think it's coming from someone in your family, someone younger than you. I'm seeing family all over this card. I think it's a handwritten message. It's something that's written by hand. It feels like the actual message was written a long, long, long time ago, years and years ago. So the person who's going to give this to you, I don't think they're the same person that's written this message, because I've seen someone younger than you giving this to you. Now I think this is someone, someone's written this, and it's being handed to you in your hand by someone else. It's from the past. I'm seeing that. It's very precious. It might be written on a card or on an old photo or something like that. If you're visiting family, which a lot of people are doing at this time of year, obviously, expect some kind of a message like this, a handwritten message. Keep it safe. Keep it very safe. It's very precious. It's something to do with your ancestors, I think. It might have been written by a man. That's another thing I'm seeing, a man's handwriting. I'm getting really, really good, really positive feelings around this. It's going to be something very precious that you keep to yourself, that feels very, very special to you. There's a lot of love around this. It might be an old love note. It might be a note from your grandparents, one to another, or something like that. Okay, so I am seeing you spending time with this family. That's what's around this as well. It looks like a really busy time. I'm seeing a lot of people around this, lots and lots of people. So with everything I'm seeing here, it might be a good idea if you spend some closer time, maybe some one-on-one time with someone in your family, someone you feel very close to, someone you feel very safe with. Because I think some time like that, just being yourself, just relaxing, that'll really help you in this healing process. So see if you can get some time off work or something like that if you need to, or whatever, just so that you can have this time. It's like clear all this crowd away, make sure they're all gone, and then spend some one-on-one time with someone who you really care about, who you trust. Because I think if you do that, you'll be out of your home environment. And I'm seeing a lot of times, if what I'm seeing in the Queen of Cups is correct, or the Three of Cups, I should say, you're going to work, you're mixing with lots of people, and then you'd get home and you'd have this big release of your emotions. So I think if you're in this other place that's safe, it's not your home environment, but it's a safe environment. So if you're in a different environment, change of scene, but you still feel safe, I think that'll be really good for you. And just spending some time relaxing, chatting with someone, or just sleeping, doing whatever you need. So think about that. That's something that might help you if that resonates with you. So the next card you have for your futures, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this is looking really good. I'm really glad to see all these in your future. Very, very happy to see these here. And I'm looking at these two cards together. They look really good, so I'm going to talk about them together, this and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so again, healing takes time. Healing takes time, you know that. So this is going to be a time of just healing, patience, taking care of yourself. You know, this man's planted a seed. He's come up to this plant every day, day after day. He's taken care of this, he's watered it, and now here's the result. Growth, strength, it's beautiful, it's huge. And I think when you feel back to your full strength, and you will, you know, there's no doubt, you absolutely will. That's when you're going to be in your confidence and in your positivity. Look at this Queen. You know, there's positivity everywhere. It's everywhere. There are sunflowers everywhere. And the big thing here is, this is what was promised back in the Strength card. Strength. Look at all these lions. There's lions everywhere as well. And, you know, yeah, so this is you back on track again. It takes time to get to this. This is what's at the end of this process. I'm not saying you're going to click your fingers and you'll be like this, but this is what is at the end. This is the promise from the Strength card of what is coming at the end. So yeah, back on track, taking your control back. There are a lot of things, I think, that you let go of because of what... because of everything I'm seeing here. You know, when you're in a really emotional state, you can cope with basic things, but anything on top of that, it just gets too much. It just gets put to one side. So yeah, I'm glad to see this here. You're bringing all that back. You're sorting through all that. And yeah, there was a promise. Again, there was a promise in the Strength card that you'll get through this, and here it is. So just know that this is at the end. You know, if you're going through this, really difficult time right now, just know that this is at the end. Strength, positivity, optimism, that is at the end of this process for you.